Hi there. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you'll find this interesting. Before I start anything, I want to say a real sincere thank you to all the people who've subscribed to my channel. It's what makes this worthwhile for me. I really appreciate the support. If you're not there watching, I guess why would I bother doing this? Now today's project is the globe for a Christmas ornament. It's going to be a two-part because it takes long enough to get all the editing done, and I don't want to make the video too long. Don't want it to get too boring. So I'm going to do the finial for the top and the icicle for the bottom, and I'll have to try to put that out in the next couple of days. So stick around. This is maple and walnut. It was fun to turn in spite of a near catastrophe that you'll see if you stick around. So let's go and get some work done. I have a blank I've made with 1/4 inch thick strips, 4 of maple and 5 of walnut, making it 2 1/4 inches thick. It's a little more than that, about 2 1/2 in this direction, but it'll be rounded over on the lathe anyway, so that's fine. It's 9 1/2 inches long, and I found the centers on each end by drawing diagonal lines, corner to corner both ways, and then using my scratch awl just to mark that. So now let's take this over to the lathe and see what we can come up with. First thing I want to do is just round this over. I'll be turning at 1000 RPM using my spindle roughing gouge. I'll wax this. It's starting to stick there a little bit. It's difficult to get a smooth cut if your gouge does not slide smoothly across your tool rest. Alright, I'm going to put a tenon on this end now using my skew chisel so I can reverse it into a 4-jaw chuck. This is called a peeling cut. If I held this down low, I'd be scraping, but because I come in here high, let it come down and then push into it, it's a cut. It does a much smoother job. The cylinder now is 2 1/4 inches, but I don't want this to be a sphere. I want it to be a little shorter in this dimension. I want it to be what Mike Peace would call a pumpkin shape. Now, I know he means pumpkin, but he's from Georgia and they talk funny down there, so sorry Mike, just kidding. So I'm going to mark this at 1 3/4, and I'm also going to mark at 7/8, half of that dimension. Lines on here to follow. And I'm going to start turning on this end, start rounding this and pull this tailstock out of the way when I'm ready. I'll be using my 3/8 inch spindle gouge, still turning at 2000 RPM. And apparently, my spindle gouge is in dire need of sharpening. And I'm going to finish this with sandpaper. It was turning at 250 RPM. I just got to erase those pencil marks. I don't have a lot of choice in hollowing tools. I'm going to start with this one, Easy Wood tool. Very gently go in there and see what kind of results I can get. Turning at 1000 RPM. The only place I plan to put glue is right on this little rim, so I have to make sure I don't take it away too much. I do need enough area for glue on there. I have the gap on this little wire caliper I made set to 1/4 of an inch. When I put it on the inside, I can see that there's clearance there, so it's less than that. As I come around right there, it starts to touch. So I'm good here. I think I'm at about 1/8 of an inch at the start, and I want to go in further, bringing the whole thing down to about 1/8 of an inch. Always happens so fast. Caught that on there. Luckily, there's enough left I should be able to cover all of this up with the cap that I'm going to put on there, the finial. So let's see what this looks like. Yes, the 3/4 will still fit tightly. Whew, that was very lucky. I have this down now to about 3/16, maybe 1/8 of an inch. That's thin enough till right about here. I need to do a little more there. I'll finish this and I'll be back for the next step. I'm going to use my thin parting tool now to part this off straight across here. Unless my measuring is wrong, the bottom of this, where I've drilled to and hollowed, is slightly above that. So I'm going to turn this off flat to less than that 3/4 inch bit size, and then I'm going to use the bit to go through. Having it in there now will hopefully save this if it parts off here further than I want it to and comes off. Now I'm turning this down to 250 RPM and I'll continue drilling through. There we go. All right. Yeah. Well, I rather enjoyed turning this. I'm looking forward to doing the finial and the icicle for it. I'm going to get at that right away. Thank you for stopping in. Hope you liked this. If you did, click the like button, share it with others if you want, and don't forget to subscribe. Hope you'll come back for part 2. In the meantime, have a great day in your shop and be safe. Take care now.